So today I thought I'd make a video where I'm not exactly going to be talking about leaks or certain characters, but instead I just want to talk about the game, right? What I think of Honkai Star Rail as a game, what I'll keep doing moving forward, and what could possibly change in the future, right? Because I've seen a lot of negativity for this game lately, and I do think that this game does have its positives, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't be playing this game if I didn't enjoy it to some extent, right? Now, I do believe there are other gachas that I've already previously played that are better than HSR. However, I play HSR mostly because of its convenience, its turn-based combat, and as well the character designs, right? I really like Hoyo's character designs. So let me get straight into it, right? We are getting a lot of good quality of life coming up in 3.2, and we as well got some quality of life in 3.0, right? With like the wishful resin and the variable device. Now, in my opinion, for any free-to-play, the variable device is almost never actually worth going for at all, right? It costs like 3 self-modeling resin or something like that, and I just don't think it's worth it unless maybe you're very hard struggling trying to get like a double crit, main stat piece, and you just got absolutely fucked over on the rolls. It probably would be better to do a variable device than to craft a new one, for example, like an orb, right? Like, let's say for the upcoming Castress, me personally, I crafted this HP percent orb, and as you can see, I at least got lucky, right? I got all 4 rolls and 3 rolls into crit damage, which is one of the best possible case scenarios, right? But like, if it all went into effect, hit rate, and break effect, it would have been more worth it to craft a variable device than to recraft another HP percent orb with double crit stats, because that's around the cost of 5 modeling resin when the variable device is only 3, right? So I do appreciate that, if you're really struggling on 1 or 2 relic pieces, I'd say within like 1 patch's time, you can get enough modeling resin or wishful resin to actually craft a very important piece that might have been escaping you for quite a while, right? I do like this, right? We as well have, I believe in 3.0, they introduced making storyline fights easier, I guess, for the like extreme casuals who really struggle in that type of content. They made it easier for people who really just play the game for the story and the characters and don't really give a shit about endgame, right? Once again, a good change in my opinion. And I as well love Amphorius, right? As a planet, design-wise, this is easily my favorite planet in the entirety of the game. I also like how the story has improved significantly compared to 3.0 and 3.1. They're very clearly working on this game, working on the planet, working on everything, right? And going into 3.2, if you've watched any of my previous videos in the anniversary, we are supposed to get new currencies that allow you to both trade it in for limited light cones and another different limited currency that is for trading in for a limited 5-star, right? So once again, this is pretty decent quality of life. Now the thing is, most people aren't going to be able to get the currency for trading in for limited 5-stars unless they already have 1 or a few standard banner characters already E6'd, right? Because that's basically the only way anyone is getting that currency outside of Wales. And as well, I believe it was said that you can receive this currency through main story quests and planets. So if I had to guess, you probably get 1 of this currency every time you finish a planet, if that actually does being implemented, right? So we'll see how that ends up working, right? Now, I'd also like to add real quick, this furthers my point that this game is just way better for newer players. You're able to get an insane amount of pulls as a new player. You as well have all the events, all the chests, all the side quests. You have all of that good stuff, Simulated Universe, Divergent Universe, Golden Gear, Swarm Disaster, and now you're even going to be able to get a currency from completing the planets as a new player. So I do think being a new player in this game is just way better of an experience compared to being a veteran player, especially if you've taken a long break from this game. I genuinely recommend anyone, if you've taken long enough of a break and you don't really remember much of the story anymore, and you don't feel like really farming relics and, you know, being stuck with the amount of jades per patch that you get limited when you aren't a new player, then making a new account is genuinely worth it in my opinion. This is my new account, and this account has an E1 Tribby and an E1 S1 Robin, and I have it like an S4 DDD. This is S3, but I have another copy on my account, right? And even with this, I still haven't done Swarm Disaster, still haven't done Golden Gears, half of Simulated Universe isn't completed, and the majority of the new Divergent Universe isn't completed on this account either. I have so much access to Jades, it's absolutely insane, and then combined with the upcoming Jades we're getting for the anniversary patch, there truly isn't a better time to be a new player in this game, right? So I do think this game is genuinely decent, right? 100% it's better than Genshin, right? I'll say the only thing that I criticize this game for over Genshin is the fact that the power creep is definitely a bigger problem in this game compared to Genshin. However, outside of the power creep discussions, I think this game is just way more fun compared to Genshin, right? Now, this is going to be not so much about the game, but I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, a little more about my future, right? I've had some people in my comments say stuff like, oh, we want you to play ZZZ, we want you to play this other game if you ever quit HSR or play 2 games at the same time, right? And I also kind of wanted to make this video to get this out of the way, right? I don't think I will ever play 2 gachas at the exact same time ever again, right? Like, currently, I have no problem doing 2 accounts on one gacha, but playing like 2 or 3 gachas at the same time, I never want to do that again. For me, it's just, for some reason, it's just a headache, it's just a personal thing, right? And I also wanted to go out of my way to say this. The only way I'll switch to another gacha is if I quit HSR. And if I quit HSR, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I am not going to another Hoyo game, okay? I've done this before, where I quit Genshin so that I could play like HSR and WUWA, and I don't want to keep going in this repetitive cycle that Hoyo does, which is, oh, this old game at its peak, right? At its peak was one of the best, if not the best gacha game in the world, right? And then we make a new game, and we give this new game way better rewards and way better quality of life, until we then make another new game, and then this new game gets more rewards and quality of life, and this older games, they don't get that good of a treatment, right? And I've noticed this once again now with ZZZ and HSR, and I'm pretty sure Hoyo already has multiple games currently in development that will probably continue to get better and better treatment over their current games, right? And another thing that really annoys me, right? A lot of people can disagree with me on this if they want to. The fact that the weapon banner, even still in ZZZ, is 75-25 is stupid. As someone who has lost on the weapon banner twice in a row before, it's absolutely stupid to not make the weapon banner guaranteed. The fact that WUWA not only has 10 less pity on both the weapon and character banner, but also has the weapon banner guaranteed, while also having a separate currency for the weapon banner, it's just a world's difference, right? Like, it genuinely is a world's difference in how the 2 games treat you, right? So I don't really want to support Hoyo anymore if I actually end up ever quitting this game, and I'd probably instead go straight to WUWA, or maybe some other future gacha game that maybe possibly catches my eye even more so than WUWA does, right? Now, this doesn't mean I'm going to be quitting HSR, right? Currently, I have 0 plans to actually quit this game. I'm still enjoying it, even though once in a while I get burnt out. Obviously, everybody knows you always get burnt out from something sometimes when you're constantly doing it, right? So I just take a break from the game for a little bit, I come back, and it feels all better, right? But if this game ever does get to like a really bad point, to where I just don't want to play it ever again, I'm not going to go to a Hoyo game again, right? I went from Genshin, then I went to HSR. I'm not going to start going from HSR to ZZZ. I'm going to go to a different company that I believe is more worth my time and deserves more of my respect, right? Now, in the first place, saying something like this for gacha games is pretty stupid. However, even though I don't disagree with this, I just don't want to keep supporting Hoyo games, right? They very clearly have a pattern that they don't want to get rid of. Newer game gets better quality of life and better treatment so that they can get more players on multiple of their games and continue to make more and more money, while their older games just kind of get left in the dust, right? I just don't want to deal with this bullshit anymore, right? So once again, if I do end up quitting HSR, I won't go to ZZZ, and I won't be playing like 2 or 3 gachas at the same time anymore, right? So that's all I wanted to say in this video. Some big ups to HSR and the quality of life it has added recently that I truly do appreciate, right? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention as well, they made the cap for the Trailblaze Power 300 as well, right? So this is as well a really nice change. It used to be, I believe, like 240. So moving it up to 300 for someone as lazy as me, this is honestly very nice for me, right? As you can see right now, I'm already overcapped on resin, which I didn't even realize. Like, sometimes I just completely forget to get on this game for a day, and then I come back and I'm losing out on a lot of resin, right? So genuinely, another nice change from them. I don't think this game is bad. I do heavily criticize it sometimes, but the reason I heavily criticize this game is because it's the main game I play, right? If you love a game and you want it to be the best version of itself that it can be, then you're going to criticize it, right? That's just how things work. For example, I do the same thing with my other main game, which is Fortnite. I heavily criticize that game when they do some dumb shit or add some dumb shit that just gets it completely gets rid of any skill gap, right? For example, currently in Fortnite, you guys aren't going to be aware of this, right? This is mostly just me yapping. However, they added a sticky grenade launcher that you can spam over and over again. It hits you through builds, it explodes builds in one shot, and it just sticks to boxes. And because it shoots fast enough, you can stack like 2 or 3 of these grenade launchers on top of somebody and they're instantly dead, right? It makes playing ranked currently one of the most annoying experiences that I've ever experienced in any season, even worse than the car season from a little bit ago, right? So in HSR, it's no different. When HSR makes a dumb change, like for example, the global passives, I don't want that to be in the game, right? I don't think anybody does, right? If it weren't working in endgame, then no one would have an issue with it. However, people are afraid of the precedent it sets for the future, right? Sure, Castris isn't the only one with a global passive right now, and to be honest, it's pretty ass. However, what happens when we get better global passives in the future, right? Because this game constantly gets power creep in every aspect of it, whether it be light cones, whether it be, you know, character power level, Eidolon power level, it doesn't really matter, right? This game has shown trends of just constantly making something better and better to, you know, appeal to the eyes of people who are willing to drop money for some of this shit, right? So even though right now the global passes aren't an issue, I think 100% they should be fixed, right? The story they're already working on, I'm gonna let them cook for now in Amphorius, right? They've already shown they can improve massively from 3.0 to 3.1. I want to keep seeing, you know, maybe not the same level of improvement, but consistent improvement in how they do the story, right? I'd say my main complaint I have currently for this game right now is 100% the events. This game is insanely dry, and the only new event we've gotten since the patch released is this Awu Firm event. And to be honest, it's a complete auto event, right? Like, you don't have to think. They literally let you just play this on auto, and it's incredibly easy, right? Me personally, I actually don't mind this that much, right? I'm someone who actually likes events who are decently easy or decently auto-y. However, I've said this many times before, in my opinion, the most fun I have when it comes to Honkai Star Rail events is their combat-based events. It doesn't matter what combat-based event it is, those are always the most fun ones to me personally. So I'd really like it if they just consistently kept making more battle events where you could as well use, different characters that your account might not have to clear that event content, because that can also get a lot of people to fall in love with certain characters and see certain characters' performance levels, right? So very quick video, not really my usual leak content or talking about the potential of a character's strength, but instead going over, my own opinion on the game's current state, what I'd like to see change, and what I might possibly do in the future if I ever get sick of this game, right? Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night. Peace.